Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Success Life Live. My name is Eric Greid. I'm so glad you took time out of your busy morning to jump in and join me and make Success Life Live part of your sort of maybe daily habits. I think I need a little warm up there. I do this every weekday morning for now well over 2 years, simply as a way of giving back to making sure that you have the tools you need in order to be a success in your life. And so that's what Success Life Live is all about. That's why we gather here each and every morning. That's why I show up and I do what we do. Good morning, Dr. Lowe. Hey, just want you to know we're going to be talking about you in a minute, so you might want to tune in and share. I dropped something. I don't know how we do this on camera. So I'm so glad that you do make Success Life Live part of your day, making it something you use to help guide you, direct you, and build you into the direction that you want to go. Drink some warm tea, vocal cords. I've got mint, hot mint. I'm in a season of addicted to mint. Not sure. Maybe it's just holiday leftovers. Anyhow. So welcome to Success Life Live. A little bit of housekeeping, and then I want to dive into what I want to talk about you today. So as you see her in the room, I'm going to have to flip the page, sorry. So results-driven organizations, the 4 keys for a high-performance workplace. Isn't that just gorgeous? That's Dr. Tanya Lowe. She is going to be in the house tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We're going to be doing author talk. This is not the official book. I had to get a galley copy or a draft copy because it is now in book release. I think it releases today or tomorrow. I don't know. Dr. Lowe will tell us tomorrow. It is an amazing book. I mean, I really, I picked it up and I printed it out and I dove in. And it really helps if you're running a team. And don't think teams like, oh, I'm not in management. Oh, I don't have a C in front of my title, office, workplace kind of management. You're always running a team. I mean, we call it around here, come on team, let's get in the car. Come on team, time for school. I see my family sometimes as me as the leader of the team or us working together in teams. I have coaching clients. I have business partners. I have thinking partners. I have family and friends. Teams are not those formal structures that, you get appointed when you take on a position. Teams are organically formed all around us. And if you want to have an effective team, if you want your team to grow, if you want to create results, whatever they might be, getting to school on time or hitting the first quarter benchmarks, got to read Dr. Tanya Lowe's book. That's all I'm telling you. Results-driven organizations, results-driven teams. I just sort of flipped the title around for her. What I loved about the book was it was a real workbook sort of format. So she will be an author talk tomorrow night. Look at us. Don't we make a cute couple? She'll be here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for author talk. And then on Friday, we have Gloria Burgess on Fun Friend Friday. If you want to get a copy of the book, and there's a couple promos that go with it and all that, go over to ericgreid.com /Success Life Live and scroll through down to the author talk and you'll see Dr. Tanya Lowe. And then if you click on that, it'll take you to the pre-order and all the event pages and things around that. So also, I have to go down here. Y'all talk to each other. Say good morning to each other while I go off here. So that reminded me. I used to run a summer camp. And we would always take these long canoe trips, and there would be like 10 canoes full of kids. And you would hear one of the kids, Counselor Eric, do you have, and they would do you have a Band-Aid? Do you have sunblock? Do you have some water? Do you have a snack? And I would always bang on the bottom of the canoe with my feet, and I'd go like this, like I was going down to the storage, and I'd come back up. Those were the days. I used to be fun. My kids don't get to experience that. Anyhow. And so Think and Grow Rich. So if you didn't see down in my feed, Paul Martinelli, Roddy Galbraith, 2 amazing trainers, teachers, coaches, mentors, call them what you want. They're just people, are doing a Think and Grow Rich. This is my copy. I've been through it 5 or 6 times. I have to check the back because I always date the back of the book every time I read it. Just so I can I remember what was going on in my life when I picked up that book and why it influenced the way I highlighted things. They're doing this. It's an amazing, amazing teaching. If you've never read Think and Grow Rich, if you've never been in the Think and Grow Rich Mastermind, if you've never been guided through it, freebie chance. Yeah, so I always like date the back of the book so I can like go back and go, oh yeah, I read that in 97, and I kind of like, what was going on in my life? Oh, that's why I picked up this book. Because sometimes I'll read the same book several times. So you can see all the dates that I've been through different chapters too. So Think and Grow Rich is going on. If you want to jump in, not too late. Margaret, you better be in the Think and Grow Rich, and your son better be a Napoleon Hill Scholarship winner. Anyhow, so a lot of what we're going to talk about this week on Success Life Live and for the next 16 days is a lot about the Think and Grow Rich experience and what I'm taking out of it this time versus the 5 or 6 other times. So it was interesting as I was looking at something and we were talking about cause and effect the other day in a coaching session. And then I thought, wow, so many of us go through life in this cause and effect mentality. Sometimes this year. Margaret, how about if we just do the next 16 days together, all right? Get with me offline if you're curious in what I'm talking about. I know I sent it to you. I'm registered today, meant to do it yesterday. Dr. Tanya Lowe, I'm going to hold you accountable to that. I'm going to expect to see a post saying I've done it. So I want to talk about cause and effect. So we go through life sometimes in this cause and effect mentality. And what I mean is like, well, this happened to me, or, I would have been a famous dancer if only. I would have been skinnier if only. I would have been wealthier if only. And all of the if only seem to come crashing in on us from other people. Like, you just don't understand. People like me don't get to. People with my background, my social experience, it's because of all of this affecting me that I haven't been able to cause the results that I want. I'm not able to control my destiny because I'm simply reacting to the environment that I'm in. If you only understood how hard it is for me, you don't get it. When I was 7 years old, I fell off my bike, I bruised my knee, and that ruined my dance career. I had to give up my love of dance, my love of music, my love of choreographer, anything musical, classical, artistic. I had to give it up because this thing happened to me once in my past and it affected every single thing from then on. Oh, you don't understand. I can't be a public speaker because this one time when I was in 6th grade, I was asked to explain the difference between a tortoise and a turtle, and I got it backwards and everybody laughed at me, and so I'm a horrible speaker. You don't understand. I'm supposed to be fat and overweight and out of shape because that's what people like me have. We're prone to hypertension. We got the sugar thing. You should look at my mama. Because something happened once in our past, because there was this cause that we were able to identify, everything else in our life gets to be affected by. Everything that we do has to be impacted by. Everything that we dream gets to get cut short because there's something in our history, something we believe, that belief system that we built somewhere back in the past about who we are, what we can do, and how much we can achieve is jumping in and jumping on us and hitting us square down in the face, and we're blaming the world. We're walking around saying, you don't get it. You don't get it. It's funny the other day, and I so miss, whenever I hear somebody pull up the past, I'm just like, really? That was like 1984. Do you mean nothing has happened in your life to alter that belief system? And as I was digging through Think and Grow Rich, and Paul Martinelli reminded me, and I'm quoting Carl Jung, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. And as I thought about that, they write it in this big fancy talk that I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Help me. All of a sudden I went, until you understand the cause, you will not be able to create the effect you want. And also sometimes, these are my notes, just so y'all know. So look how much I'm committed to this. I got me a pretty book to keep my notes in. Available at Office Depot. until you understand the cause, you will not be able to create the effect you want. I was like, wait a minute. Until I understand the cause, where is the cause? Oh my God, the cause is in my head. And until I make the unconscious conscious, until I go in my head and dig out and scrap through and pile down and twist out, the symptoms are going to keep reappearing. I'm going to keep having the same symptoms in my life, but I haven't addressed the cause. You know, it's interesting, a comparison between living in Uruguay and living in the US. So here in the US, and you turn on the TV, within 10 minutes, you found out that you've got 6 diseases and 4 treatments and on, that we are so prone here in the US to treating the symptom. Like, okay, you're coughing, take this, and this, and this. Don't address the cause, just cover up the symptoms. Just give us enough energy and momentum to get past the symptoms. And then in Uruguay, I remember I came back from Paraguay and I was in Uruguay and my whole stomach thing was like, well, let's just say I spent a lot of time in the bathroom. And I went to the doctor. I'm like, doctor, you gotta do something. He's like, well, tell me your symptoms. And I did. He said, well, here's the cause. You've got this probably parasite, thing in your stomach. I'm like, great, let's deal with it. And he's like, you are dealing with it. That's why you're going to the bathroom and puking and having fevers. We're not going to cover up the symptoms. We're going to analyze the cause and then let it work through. And he was like looking at the cause and not worried about the symptoms because he wanted to make sure the cause wouldn't kill me. When I look at goals, when I look at vision boards, when I look at all these dream casting, sometimes we're trying to cover up a symptom. I'm overweight, so I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm financially behind, so I'm going to create a 6-figure business. My relationship stinks, so I'm going to have date night. I'm not connected to my kids, so I'm going to do this, or blah, blah, blah. We look at the symptom of what we don't like in our lives, and we create goals to cover up the symptoms without going in and looking at what the cause of why are we overweight? Why are we financially always struggling? That we have these peaks and valleys. Why are our relationships always on the rocks? Why is it that we fall in love and fall out of love? Why are we always having the same discussions with our teams, with our families, with our spouses, with our kids? Why? We never ask the deep why question. And going back, it was like, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. All of these unconscious thoughts are directing my life and I'm calling it fate, or blaming other people, blaming other situations, blaming everything around me. Like, oh, well, you just don't understand. That's the way I'm designed and divine to be. That's my role in life, is always to be the martyr and the one in third place. Until we make the unconscious conscious. Oh, wait a minute. If I started understanding why I don't believe I'm worthy of love, if I started to understand why I don't believe abundance exists for me, if I started to understand why I'm afraid of success, if I started to really understand what's going on in my subconscious, then I could begin to direct my fate. I would be directing my fate, not my unconscious, but my conscious mind would be directing my fate. And so, like I said, there's a whole lot going on in this Think and Grow Rich thing, and I can never get through it without at least a whole new notebook full of notes. So then I started going, okay, how do we start to dig into the unconscious and make it conscious? So I'm kind of reading my notes, so I apologize if you get the top of my head or my pretty hair. So I wrote down, write out what the cause, write out what the symptoms is. So sit down and make a list of all of the symptoms that you're experiencing in your life. What is the symptoms of my life? What does my life look like? Okay, I'm overweight. I'm in a bad relationship. I've got poor financing. Every time I start something, it never finishes. I've had success and failure, what are the symptoms of your life? And if you're having struggle with it, maybe look at what the last 4 goals were that you tried to achieve. Because when I put try, it probably means you didn't, because you were only looking at the symptoms and writing goals to cover the symptoms and not address the cause. That's kind of what coaching does. So now that I have my list, it's okay, I'm going to ask myself a bunch of questions about it. What is my belief about this? What is my belief about my weight? What is my belief about my financial situation? What is my belief about relationships and love and children and time and success? What is my belief? And then where did that come from? Like, where did I decide that? Like, where? Like, where? And, I'm going to probably have one answer, and then as I spend more time with it, I'll probably have 2 or 3 more. And then once I figure out what my belief is and where it came from, I'm going to be like, okay, how did that serve me at the time? How did that serve me at the time? Maybe public speaking in 6th grade and avoiding it served me, because 6th grade's pretty shitty. There's a lot of pressure going on, and I was maybe avoiding it. So how did that serve me in the past? Because every belief system that we have, every unconscious action, everything that we program in here, we do so for one reason and one reason only: survival. And so how did that belief system help me survive in that moment? And then I'm going to do like, well, how do I feel about still needing that? Like, do I still need to be in that survival mode? Like, am I still in danger? Is that still really an issue? I grew up in a house where my dad, God love the man, I do too. Money, we did not talk about it. We did not discuss it. I mean, if you had money in your hand, you would be better off holding a rattlesnake that hadn't eaten in days. My dad, there's never enough. Oh my God, who's left the water on? There's no, you can see my vibration, my energy around money has shifted, because my dad it's not that he hated money, but he grew up in World War II in Nazi Germany as a 13-year-old boy, hiding in haystacks and dodging, military troops and scrapping around for breadcrumbs. And then on goes the story of his life. And so his perception of money, his value of money, his relationship with money echoed into mine. And so I learned, you know what? Don't touch money. Don't go near money. Don't focus on money. Money is a bad thing. Money. Don't become your dad. Don't bitch about it. Let it go out every window, every door, every checkbook, every credit card. Don't worry about it. Don't talk about it. Don't discuss it, because you will sound like your dad. And Lord knows you don't want to be that person. So I was really bad at financial. I was great at creating wealth. I was great at creating money. I kind of sucked at managing it. And so every year I would set a goal. I want to become more disciplined about money. I want to become more focused about money. I want to create more money. Blah, 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 blah. Until the unconscious is made conscious. I had never sat down and realized my relationship to money was a direct impact of the way that belief system was taught to me when I was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. And that didn't serve me. It didn't serve me well at all. It didn't even help me. And my dad wasn't managing my money, and I didn't have to report my money to him at 47 years old, and yet I was still being impacted by it. So now that I think I'm like, you know what? That doesn't serve me. Which is where I come in with my last question is there a better possible belief system? And I said possible, like I leave myself open to the possibilities that maybe there's a new belief system I could pick up, I could adopt. Maybe I could try on a different belief system instead of a different goal. Instead of a different program to lose weight, and a different program to save money, and a different program to have relationships, and a different program, you get it. Maybe I need a different belief system. So let me try on this belief system. Let me grow into this belief system. Because if I can be the cause, then I can have the effect that I want in my life. And so when I wrote this sort of summary, I was like, when we acknowledge that up until now, which is one of my favorite statements, when we acknowledge that up until now we have been run by an unconscious, outdated, self-defeating belief system and not the world around us. When I acknowledge that all of the current present circumstances are not the result of a spouse, of a mother, of a father, of a color, a gender, an age, an education, all of those things. Once I determine that my belief system, that my self-defeating belief system and not the world is the cause of the life that I'm living. And then I say, as we begin to make the unconscious conscious, and we have the ability to direct our fate and be both the cause and the effect. When I look at my unconscious, when I dig in and understand that my belief system has created everything that I'm experiencing around me right now, everything that I'm in touch with, my family, my finances, my health, my relationships, the people I've lost, the people I've gained, everything around me has been a direct result, not of my age, my gender, my location, my education, my socioeconomic background, my parents, whatever. Once I acknowledge that, wait a minute, my belief system is what created the universe that I live in, not other people and situations and circumstances. And don't go, well, you don't understand. When I was, your belief system, no matter how big or how small what came crashing into your world, how you processed and created that event in your mind becomes your belief system, is what is determining your current situation, your current status in life. And if you're willing to change your belief system, unconscious, then you get to not only cause how your world will be built, but you get to have the effect on the world that you live in, that you want. And so as I thought that through, I was like, wow, I've been working it backwards. I've been trying to have an effect on the world by doing a whole bunch of actions, and I do so well, and I get so high, and it starts climbing up the hill, and then I crash back down, and I go up, and I go down, and I go up, and I go down. It's human nature. Because I wasn't managing the cause. I was trying to create an effect. If I go and look at my cause, then I'll have an effect. Or again, one more time from Mr. Carl Jung. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it faith, or in the interpretation of Eric, until you understand the cause, your unconscious, you will not be able to create the effect you want. So that's what we got today. Hope you guys love Success Life Live. Hope you're understanding that Think and Grow Rich. Oh, thank you, Sonia. Did I do good? Do I do Paul Martinelli worthy good, Sonia? It's a great book. If you're not in the class, jump in the class. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up teaching the class 1 or 2 times this year too as well. But I'm going to wait until I finish with Paul's before I even think about it. Here's my book. So this is what it looks like when I get a book. And here's the funny thing is, so second note, when I say, I know I'm going over here. So when I say, so this is what normally travels with me with a book: a blue pen, a black pen, and a yellow pen. And then I have a 3-color pen. So when I write the date in the back of the book, I often will say, okay, I'm going to use the blue pen so that I remember that everything that was in blue pen was, 2018, 2017, and I sometimes have to switch depending on how many times I read the book to different colors so that I can see the progression of my thoughts. Or sometimes I'll just write it out on the side margin. Thank you, Tiffany. I knew you were good. FYI, Mary. Sorry for you, sweetheart. No, my dad, I love him. I absolutely love him. But, his experience. Think of it. You're a 13-year-old boy. You're kicked out of your house because of the German Nazi occupation. You're living in the barn. You have a younger brother, a little sister, and a mom because your dad's been sent off to fight at the front. What's going to shape his way of perceiving money and abundance and success? His belief system, I understand now. He never trusted. Here's another example. So to take it one level deeper on my grandpa, when he finally got out of the war and they finally made it to the States, he used to carry around this little metal box. I can still see it. I think my dad actually has it. And he would collect silver and gold coins. Yeah, the job that he had, he was always, he worked in a country club as a bartender, and so he was always trading money. So anytime he saw a silver coin, he would trade it out for a paper coin because he knew 2 things. That silver and gold are non-government controlled values. Like if he had a $1 bill, then if the government collapsed, that $1 bill was useless. But he had a 1-ounce piece of coinage made of silver, he could always trade based on the silver value and not the coin value. So he literally used to collect and keep gold coins and silver coins and as many of those as he could. And when we would try, and it always hid in the front, you walk in their house and there was a closet, and it was always in the back end of the closet. Whenever he would leave the house for an extended period of time, or both of them were, my Oma and Opa were both out of the house, they would take the box with them. Because they knew, they believed that even though all of the situations and external circumstances had changed, they hadn't developed a belief system that they were safe. They didn't trust their current safety. And it was like, at any moment we could lose our house and everything we have, and we're gonna have to barter and trade for our lives. And the only thing that I can count on is that stack of gold coins or silver coins, silver dollars, etc., that are in that box. And my life, my family, my future, my safety, my security depends on that little gray box in the corner, in the back of the closet. His belief system never allowed for abundance. His belief system never allowed him to feel safe. His belief system, it was impacted by the circumstances. And his belief system became my dad's belief system. And my dad's belief system could have become my belief system if I didn't make the unconscious conscious and stop blaming situations and circumstances and understand that my unconscious is leading me and guiding me, and I'm calling it fate, meaning everything external. So look at the symptoms. Look at your symptoms and say, what is causing this behavior? And don't say, it's the Doritos in the kitchen cabinet. When you set your January 1st goal of losing weight and you went to the grocery store on January 5th and you bought the Doritos, you had already told yourself somewhere in the back of your mind, I'm going to fail. I always fail. That's who I am. I'm always going to be fat and I'm always going to fail and I'm going to start diet. So I might as well stock up the Doritos now because that day is coming and therefore I will be prepared for it. What's your belief system about who you are and what you're worth and what your value is and how your body reflects that? What is your value system, your belief system about your worth? That on January 1st, you committed your whole heart and desire to achieving weight loss, and by January 5th, you were stacking up sabotage tools. That you had fallen off and you let the unconscious stack that cart full of things that you knew would cause you to fail. And then you get to blame everybody and everything around you. Instead of saying, you know what? I've always had an image that I wasn't pretty. I wasn't smart. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't worthy of success, joy, happiness, love, whatever it is. And the way that I've sort of learned how to accept that part of me is I packed on the pounds. I made myself just less than I wanted to be, so nobody else had to tell me first. And so that's why I'm always overweight. That's why I'm always out of shape. That's why I always join the gym January 1st and end up canceled by January 2nd. And I've got a cabinet full of cookies to prove it. Because I haven't made the unconscious conscious. What is the unconscious belief you have around your weight, so to speak? So I could go on for a couple hours because, that was it. I'm sorry. I lied to y'all. I'm jumping over here. This is my Think and Grow Rich book. That's my writing book. Do you see that I like consistency in my life? I need somebody to make covers for these. So Paul Martinelli tells us, as we begin to dig through this, to look at our spiritual, our relationships, our time and money, our personal growth, and our health, and ask ourselves, what are our belief systems around those? I fasted for about 40 hours the first week of January. You're a stronger woman than me, Deb. But I have stopped eating meat or anything that requires a life to be sacrificed for me. My kids don't understand it. I'm not sure I understand. I just woke up one day and said, let's see what it would be like if I didn't have to eat something that once had a heartbeat. So it's now a couple months. It's like 6 months, 8 months. I don't know. Lost track. But anyhow, I thank you guys for joining me for Success Life Live. Again, if you want questions about the Think and Grow Rich, if you're not in the Think and Grow Rich with Paul Martinelli, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be the guy that tells the truth because that's important to me. It's free. Now, Paul will offer probably some kind of promo, special, bonus, buyout, something along the way because that's Paul and he's a businessman. But you can come in, you can eat from the buffet, you can go to the dessert aisle, you can take as much as you want, and it will be free. And if you choose to go up one level, that's fine. That's your choice. But it's yours. It's your choice. But it's free, and don't let the fear that you're gonna have to buy something, that this is gonna be another one of those, oh, they just bring us all in the room and then lock us in until we pull out our check. No. Paul's a man of integrity. Roddy's a man of integrity. Empowerment Mentorship is a program that I really do respect and love. And Think and Grow Rich, they couldn't do it any other way than what they said they were going to do. So if you're not in it, get in it. If you want to know about it, get in it. Yeah, you're going to have some catch up and makeup work to do, but this is your life. It's okay. Dig in. All right, so tomorrow is Author Talk. Friday is Gloria Burgess. You guys got to share that out. Author Talk, Dr. Tanya Lowe, 7 p.m. Wednesday. Gloria's Burgess on Friday at 8 a.m. Then me over on Belief Hackers Sunday. I got to find out the details of that. I keep forgetting. I've got a busy week ahead. So if I can help you as a coach, if you're like, you know what, I want to hire a coach to walk me through what I'm thinking as I'm going through Think and Grow Rich, that's all right. I'd be happy to do that. I would actually love it. I would probably just like completely freak out doing it because I love the book, as you can tell. Or if you have other programs you want to work on and want to coach about and be involved with, hey, I'd be happy to help you with that. Or public speaking as well. So reach out, connect to me, Eric at ericgreid.com. Visit the website, ericgreid.com. Today, the Success Life Weekly went out, the newsletter, and the coaching tip in that is about visualization and our success. You're empowered. Oh, thank you, Greg. I was like, couldn't see it. If you didn't sign up for the newsletter and you really want to, you can still do that. ericgreid.com/subscribe. I'm going to have our visual artist make something on that. And then you'll get today's on Friday because I send it out twice for those that didn't open it. You can bring them to the water. All you can do is bring them to water, make them drink. Thank you. Funny. So the quote that I love on that is you can't lead a horse to water and make him drink, or however it goes. And then I think it was Paul Martinelli. He's just all over my head today. He said, but you can salt their tongue. And by that, I mean, show them the value, teach them the value, give them a reason to start drinking. And so again, today's was on visualization and visualizing your success and the little mini meditation guide. Like I said, Success Life Weekly is not about me selling you something. It's about giving you a little coaching kind of tip in your mailbox. So if you need to sign up, ericgreid.com/subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. I know we went long today. Got a busy day. I'm so excited. So I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern for another Success Life Live. Yes, we'll probably continue discussing things I'm learning during Think and Grow Rich. You can salt their tongue. It's like my kids. We know this. So you want to watch TV? Wow, that's really good. Pick up your clothes. I don't want to. There's a really good show on TV tonight. I understand it's the Marvel Comics superhero reunion. Ooh, okay, we're cleaning up that. Get the salt the tongue thing. Anyhow, I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. Go out and live your life of success. It is yours. You are worthy. It is just waiting for you. Let's make it happen today, okay, guys? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.